earlier today too. Like I was thinking about like when I was in high school, and I graduated. I'm in my 30s, so I graduated high school in 2004. And when I graduated high school, there was a lot of shit that's cool that I was into. That's cool now that wasn't cool before. Like I was thinking about how cool anime is now, but it wasn't cool back when I was in high school. Like, yo, I was getting clowned for watching anime for the longest. Like, I was watching Dragon Ball Z before it was cool, bro. Like, I was watching Dragon Ball Z before it was cool, and I was watching the sub. I was watching the sub on VHS. I was watching the sub. That's how OG I was with anime and Dragon Ball Z. I was watching back in the day. I was watching Dragon Ball Z, which is my all-time favorite anime, and I was watching Fist of the North Star, which is like an anime from like the early '80s going into the late '70s. I was watching those two. Cats thought I was the super biggest nerd in the world, and then Toonami happened. Then Toonami happened, and then still, the only acceptable anime um, was like Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. That was it. If you watch anything outside of that, motherfuckers were starting to clown you. Motherfuckers was clowning you. So I was watching Inuyasha. I was watching Tenchi Muyo, Gundam Wing. I was watching all that stuff. And Caps was clowning me like, yo, that's some nerd stuff, man. I was like, yo, for real, like, only thing you should be messing with is Dragon. Yeah, everyone's trying to hop on. Like, the only thing I was getting credit for was like, yeah, I was watching Dragon Ball Z. It went from, oh, you a nerd for watching Dragon Ball Z to now cats want to know what happened because I watched it all. By the time it hit Toonami, yo, because I was so far ahead, because I was watching the sub, and I was watching the sub on VHS. And how I was watching the sub was, my friend Matt used to go to this comic book store in our neighborhood had it. And my friend Matt, my buddy Matt, used to go to the comic book store, and he would rent the tapes of Dragon Ball Z from the comic book store because they had the sub, right? He would rent the tapes. He would get like one of them 8-9 hour tapes, VHS tapes, and he would get one of those tapes, and then he would copy the tape. So he'd be watching it and then copying it onto like one of them 8-hour tapes, just so he can watch all the episodes and stuff. He would get like one of them 8-hour tapes or 12-hour VHS tapes. So he had two VCRs, and he was recording the whole shit so he could have it at home. So yeah, so I used to get clowned for watching anime and all that stuff. And so like I said, my friend Matt used to get the sub from the comic book store, and then he would watch the shit. And then after he would watch it, like he let me and my friend David hold the tape. So we used to be on him because we want to see what happens next. But there was times where like he was BSing and watching it. I was like, yo, you record that whole thing yet? Like, oh yeah, I recorded it. I'm like, yo, did you watch it? Like, nah. I'm like, yo, hurry up so we can get the tape. Like, we be on him every day. Like, yo, did you watch it last night? Did you watch it last night? Because we wanted to get the tape off of him. And then it got so bad where like he would take so long to watch the shit. Like sometimes. Mind you, saying he the one that's renting the tape, spending the money and shit. So we trying not to press him, but like, so what me and my friend Dave did was like, Dave would either come to my house, or I would go to his house, and we watch it together because, he would take so long. We were just anxious to watch the rest of the Dragon Ball Z series. So when the shit hit Toonami, like me and my crew, it was just me and my friend David and my friend Matt. We was all on the Buu Saga, and they was just. Niggas was just going in. They were just going in Namek when I was watching the Buu Saga. Dangerous voice. Oh, I said my name instead of your name. Diesel Jones, what's going on, brother? I hated when I was a kid. Folks acted like we didn't all watch DBZ and wanted the clown folks. Yes, yo, they did that to me, yo. Until it hit Toonami. When it hit Toonami, yo, I was like a cool kid for like a second. Cause like, by the time like Goku turns, by the time Toonami got the episodes, it took them forever to get the episodes when they fought Frieza. By the time they fought Frieza, I done watched the whole series already. I done finished Buu Saga, all that. So I already knew what happened. So they asked me like, yo, what happens next? Like they would ask me stuff and I would have to try not to spoil it. I remember like they got up to the point. Like I remember one time Toonami got to the point where Goku and Frieza met up for the first time, and then it took them like a year and a half. It took them like a year, almost 2 years. I remember to get the rest of the fight, and when Goku turned Super Saiyan, and that whole rest of that fight with Frieza, that was like 20 episodes. Like it took them forever to get that. So like Cass was just like asking me like, "Yo, what happens?" Because for real, like they playing around with these episodes. Then it was asking me how I watched it, and then like I was telling them like, "Yo, I was telling them my friend Matt had it," and then Matt would act like he didn't know what they were talking about. He didn't want nobody else to get the tape off him. People like, "Yo, let me borrow that tape from you," and like and Matt would act like, "Yo, I don't got no tape, man," and I'm like, "Matt, like if you don't want other people to have the tape, you gotta let me know, cause like I was telling people you had it." So they coming to you like, "Yo, let me get the tape," and you like, "Yo, I ain't letting nobody hold that shit." My friend Matt did not want nobody else to hold that tape because, like I said, we was the kids that got picked on and shit. Like, so he was like, "Nah, I ain't letting nobody hold the tape. Like, if it's not you or Dave, I ain't letting nobody hold that shit." Like straight up. So it was only us three that knew what happened because then Dragon Ball Z became like the acceptable anime. That was like the acceptable anime. Then like like I said, I was watching Inuyasha, I was watching Tenchi Muyo, I was watching Gundam Wing, I was watching Fist of the North Star. I was watching that shit. I was still getting clowned for that, but it was like, but then people was acting like, "Oh yeah, Reg knows a lot about Dragon Ball Z because he done seen it all already." Which is weird. I was getting clowned for the same thing. I was getting praised for the same thing I was getting clowned for. Like Pokemon was acceptable because everybody played, the video games on when we were like 10 or 11 or something like that. Like when we were kids. So Pokemon was like, okay, you still fuck with Pokemon. Nobody was clowning you. So yeah, so like now, like all that stuff is cool. Everybody watches anime. Everybody's into this comic book stuff, video games, computers. Like all that stuff I used to get clowned for. Yo, now that's like, oh, you the cool kid now if you into that stuff, or like you're not even a cool kid. That's just normal now. Cause like my sister's children, who are only 10 years younger than I am, when they went to school, their whole crew, they into like sports and they like your typical jock into sports and all that stuff. But then like all of them was like, "Yo, Naruto go hard." I'm like that generation behind me was like, "Yo, okay," their thing was Naruto. Everybody was watching Naruto, and then they was watching Bleach and One Piece and all that stuff. Like everybody behind me, all them kids that was like 10 years behind me and stuff, like a generation behind me, they was all watching that stuff, and all that stuff was cool. People learning how to code was cool, all that stuff. I'm like, bruh, I remember I was in school, this shit was, people got clowned for this. Like Final Fantasy VII, which just came out with the remake, last month. I used to get clowned for being into the original. Because me and this other kid, and he was a super nerdy kid, me and him used to talk about it all the time. And they're like, "Yo, y'all some nerds. Y'all talk about this fucking game all the damn time. Final Fantasy VII is for nerds." I'm saying, now like, years later, we're like, "Yo, Final Fantasy was a dope game." Everybody's saying like, "Yo, how good of a game that was."